YouTube? It's Baker. I hope everybody's doing absolutely fantastic. It is Monday night for me. We did skip Saturday's video, which I apologize for. I wish I had a good excuse for you, but long story short, Michelle had planned like a couples pizza, not really couples, but a pizza making class, I guess you could say. So we tried to do that quickly. Started at 11, started drinking at 11. Next thing you know, it's supposed to be done by 1:30, home, make a video quickly. Turned into us going to a winery and me getting loaded. So, Irish cop. It is what it is, okay? So I didn't make the video. I apologize. Things happen. With that being said, I did want to jump on this week's video. I wanted to cover our first ever show and whether or not we're going to do shows, what's going on in the future, and what my real experience was with it, what I really thought throughout the day, and so forth, and how well we did, so forth and so on. Before I do that, I want to catch up what's going on here at Blue Line Morphs. We do have the tripod set up. That's how we're going to film today's video. I do have the window open. Listen, you're getting a little humidity up here. Like you can see a little stain, a little humidity. It is. I got in here, guys. It's 79 degrees, about 79% humidity when I got in here, so I'm trying to air it out a little bit here while we're in here. Doesn't help that my fat ass is in here kind of boosting up those temps. So everyone ate pretty well, guys. We are still waiting on eggs. Today is day 30 from when this girl shed out, okay? That's the OD Fire Enchi clown paired to the Stranger Leopard clown. Still waiting on her. Any day now. And of course, this girl's finally starting to show signs like she's nesting. So I anticipate Saturday's video will probably be me pulling our first Stranger clutch. I hope, okay? Waiting on snakes from us. We ordered some heat packs. I was trying to wait for the weather to break a little bit, but it's just not happening. So I'm just going to get some heat packs and ship them out in the 12x6x9s. That being said, we do have a nice ovulation today. Pretty happy about that. Right here. Look at that. Nice and fat. Look at that. You guys wonder what an ovulation looks like? It looks like a balloon stuck in there, right? Look at that. Absolutely fantastic. That is our clown, a pastel clown pod that was bred to our ODYB Fire Leopard Pied Het Clown. Really happy about that clutch, guys. Very happy. No pairings done yet. We're going to do them tomorrow. I'll fill you guys in with that on Saturday, guys. But with that being said, without further ado, let me get set up with our little tripod here, get the lights on so I see spots for the rest of the night, and let's talk about this first ever show that Blue Line Morphs ever did. All right, guys, so we're all set up here old school with the tripod, the bright lights where I can't see anything. Let's talk about this show. Before I even get into the show, guys, we do have t-shirts available. I'm going to make a post on social media, but if you guys are interested, definitely let me know. Hit me up on blue_line_morphs on Instagram, so forth and so on. Huge shout out to all our Patreon people. Community slowly growing, getting bigger and bigger. Picked up two new members this week, so I'm pretty happy about that. Before we get on the show, I know that we saw a lot of people at the show, which I'm very, very grateful for. I'm going to try to go through some of the names now, but huge shout out to Kevin from Sugar Skull. Obviously, you've seen Kevin. He films for us here and there. He's become a close buddy of mine, even though he's probably double my age. He's another cop. Long since retired, because again, at 63 they kick you out, and he's obviously big in the ball python community. That's how I met him. We become close friends. He showed up here at like 6 o'clock in the morning, which is really hard to get up when you're that old, right? Did I hit it home enough, Kev? Showed up here at 6 o'clock in the morning, helped me throughout the entire day, stood with me the entire day, drove with me there, went and got Chinese food after with him. Huge shout out to him, man. Made my life a lot easier. Talked to some customers, talked to some people. Huge shout out to Kevin. Huge shout out to Paul, another cop, another Patreon family member, and showed up later on at the show, or relatively early, almost right away. Showed up at the show when we got there. Spent almost the entire day with us, again, helping, hanging out, kind of providing that comedic relief there. I love you guys. Really appreciate it. Huge shout out to Erica from Edge Exotic stopping by. Check out their channel. Huge shout out to Lorenzo from Jersey Balls. Shout out to Will, Drumboa, Brian, Anthony, Ryan showed up. Joe, Empire State Exotic showed up. Ricky, all you guys. I'm probably missing people. I apologize. I'm like drawing a blank here. I want to try to get everybody. Lots of people showed up, guys. So before we even get into the overall experience, I'm going to give you like a breakdown real quick and like how it went by, what I liked the most, what animals we took with us, so forth and so on. to ruin the suspense, I am without a doubt going to do another show. Without a fucking doubt. In fact, I kind of need your guys' help because I've been looking into getting displays. That was part of like kind of my insecurity doing this show is I didn't have a display. All right, we'll talk about that. But I'm looking at the ARS complete sets to come like the carrying case. I'm going to pick those up, like 2 of those. And then probably get a nice banner behind us made up, so forth and so on, guys. But if you guys know, if you're local Long Island, if you're selling the ARS stuff, you're selling some displays, definitely hit me up and let me know. Because we are in the market to buy them. If not, I'm probably going to end of the week going to pick up at least 2 of the display cases from ARS and order a nice backdrop, nice banner to get this show on the road. Before I even get to that, we will be doing our next show in June in Nassau County. It's going to be a new show. All right, I was actually talking to Tony today, the guy that is running the show, putting the show on, and he's looking to grow it to be a pretty big, nice show. I think it's the only one ever in Nassau County so far. We're going to actually do an interview with him next month, sometime in April, where we're going to talk about why he's putting the show on, what he's been doing with the Reptiles, how his show is going to be different, what they're going to be doing there, so forth and so on. But I will without a doubt be vending that show. All right, let's get into this show, our first show. All right. So we have a lot left from this season, guys. Thankful to the community here on YouTube or Instagram, so forth and so on. We only had about 5 or 6 like clowns left, male clowns. We had 1 female we took with us in general as a pinstripe clown, het pied. 2 of her brothers, same exact morphs, some Coral Glow combos, couple het pied, few adults, GHM Mojave, a Spectre het pied, and a pastel het pied. Didn't take a lot with us. About 25, 26 hatchlings. Nothing crazy, okay? Still beautiful animals, but none of the top-end stuff that we created this year. But so we just kind of, the flow. Kind of winged it. Huge shout-out to Eric from Big E's Reptile. He's one of my best friends. My rat guy, too, which fucking helps, right? We borrowed his acrylics, his display cases. Huge clutch. Really appreciate that. Yeah. All right, so let's just talk about it. I'm going to be honest with you guys. This is no, like, tough guy thing. This is no shock. I'm not a shock job guy. I am not a tough guy by any means, guys. But I'll be honest with you. I'm not overwhelmed or intimidated by anybody or any situation. I mean, between the PD stuff and everything else and my arrogance, I guess, I just don't give a fuck. But walking into this show, I was a little intimidated. I'm not going to lie. First of all, walking in, what I immediately realized is selling things on Morph Market, Instagram, YouTube, so forth and so on is one thing. The shows are a completely separate entity. They are totally fucking different, okay? And with that being said, I've also noticed there's definitely a circle there, right? Definitely a circle of friends, and there's a certain amount of camaraderie there of guys that do the shows together. I noticed that people do, even though it's Brentwood, the show we did, is a relatively small local show, there's still people coming from Jersey and Pennsylvania and everywhere else, New England and upstate New York, but there's still definitely a circuit of people that kind of travel together in the tri-state area, give or take. So definitely a whole different ballgame. So walking in, I was a little intimidated, right? I had put myself out there since the beginning, since 2019, when I first started doing this, deciding to be a breeder. I put myself out there. I put my face out there. I put blue line morphs out there. I have been trying to be completely, totally transparent with you guys. And walking in, listen, obviously, one thing people did say to me at the show is my personality here is exactly who I am in person, which is true. But walking in, I was like, these guys are probably looking at me like, look at this YouTube asshole, Not the case at all. Nobody at all. Nobody's a dick whatsoever. But I was a little kind of intimidated because everyone kind of seemed like they knew what they were doing, right? They had setup, they had displays, they had gangster shit. In fact, Jim next to me, I forgot. Ectomorph Dungeons. Jim, forgive me. This is his logo. Forgive me. I'm bad when I get hit in the head a lot. But anyway, he was next to me, absolute gentleman, and his display was fucking amazing. Like, me being next to him with his lights and his ARS stuff and his giant thing behind him, and I was just like, fuck. Like, nobody's gonna look at my shit. But that being said, everyone was definitely much more prepared than I was. We may do. I'm sure the thumbnail will be like me in front of the thing, or you saw my post on social media. But got set up, started. Get out of here, Nat. What's my humidity dropping down? All right, 74%. I'm trying to drop it down. The problem is I'm dropping it with the window. I'm fat, and I'm probably giving off heat. But anyway, got set up, and it kind of opened up. And at first I was like, all right, I'll be happy to sell a couple snakes. We'll see what happens, interact with some people, get the experience with my belt, look around, because Kevin also is kind of like my carpenter. And I was like, look around what these people have as displays in case we decide to do more shows. We know what to do. full transparency, I made just under $3,000, guys, and I honestly, I could not be fucking any happier. I went into that with zero expectations, just kind of get the experience, maybe unload a couple animals, and I made just under $3,000, which actually enabled me to buy the Will Banks incubator, which should be here this week, which I'll do a full review on. But yeah, so one thing I noticed is it is really, really nice to interact with people in person. There's definitely a whole different side to this. I think people are much more inclined to purchase animals, to approach animals, to hit you up about animals in person when they see it in person. It's really easy to go on Morph Market, like, oh, that thing is fucking sick. And then, like, maybe send a message, or, oh, did you take payment plans? I gotta ask my wife, and they disappear, right? You know, if you're breeding, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. But it's one thing, because people can forget, right? They go to the page, they kind of move on, so forth and so on. But more importantly, when it's in person, people are much more inclined to purchase it. I think people like purchasing in person. Get to talk to you, get to see the animal, so forth and so on, guys. But one thing I will say is people do haggle. And I have no problem with that, right? I think in this hobby, this industry, we can't be selfish dicks, right? For example, if an animal is worth, let's say, 10 G's, obviously high-end scale here, 10 G's, and someone's offering you $7,500 for it, like, oh, it's 75% of face value, it's still $7,500, right? Even if you scale that down, the animal's worth $900, and they give you $400, it's still $400 fucking dollars in your pocket, right? I don't know about you guys, but I am not rich, so I have no problem with that. I'll tell you a brief story. And probably one of my favorite interactions of the day. There were a couple went by, and they came across our table, and they came across one of our males that we really liked. Actually, it's Banana OD. The Banana OD Fire Het Pied, possibly yellow belly, probably yellow belly. I think he is yellow belly. But he was deep in shed. Even deep in shed, he was bright and vibrant. Now, as far as I know, they don't have any ball python. They had a whole terrarium set up, ready to go for one. They were there to pick up a ball python. So I showed them on Instagram a video of him. Lights are blinding me. A picture of him at a shed. Look how nice and vibrant and bright this guy is. And I was just friendly, just kicking it, just chopping it up with them. They had went on to look at other animals, which happens, and they came back. This animal I had listed on social media or Morph Market for $700 at the show, $600. And I was like, what's the best price you can do? And I told them $500. They said, well, $450s are kind of like our budget. It's all we can spend today. I said, guys, listen, I'm not, it's still $450. I'm moving an animal. And to get somebody into the hobby. And I was like, yeah, listen, guys, that's fine. That is absolutely fine. I have zero problem with that, okay? And they're still actually in contact with me on Instagram. He shut out, like, they actually told me how great and how much they love the animal, how bright and vibrant it was. I'm very happy about that. But that was probably the biggest part of the show that I liked the most, was the interactions with people, was just talking to people in the hobby, whether it was gecko people, the tarantula couple next to us, whatever the case may be. We're snake people. We're fucking weird, right? And that goes along with gecko people and monitors or tarantulas or whatever else this little clique here, reptiles, invertebrates, whatever. We're all kind of one part of the same giant family. And to interact with people like that, meet new people, and have fun throughout the day, and laugh, and break bread, was probably obviously you can't tell I'm a people person, was probably my favorite part about it. And then to get to meet a lot of people that I talked to for years, okay? Texting and talking, so forth and so on. Unfortunately, I kind of knew people just by their handles, and people, my face is on my social media quite often in these videos, so people did recognize me, and sometimes people come up to me, hey, what's going on, Baker? And I had to kind of wait for context clues in the conversation to figure out who they were, then it immediately would spark. Like, oh, great, right? Drum Boa. I was talking to him for a while, and I'm like, I talk to this guy all the time. And he's like, it's Drum Boa. I was like, oh, fuck. Well, he asshole, right? Then, in fact, Brian Wu, crazy geckos. I actually want to take a trip out there and take a look at his collection and film a little video. I've been talking to him forever. He walked up to me. First of all, he's the biggest Asian man I've ever seen in my life. He's like 6'4". He walks up to me and shakes my hand. I'm looking at him. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, who's Yao Ming? Like, who is this guy? And I look and said, Brian Wu. I was like, oh my God, right? I was like, my bad, dude. He's like, you're a dick. So anyway, it was really nice to interact with people and meet people that I've been talking to for a long time. And further on that, and more importantly on that, a lot of people, as humbly, will pat myself on the shoulder too, came up to me to say that they watch our channel, or they follow me on social media, they watch our YouTube, or it got them into breeding, or it got them into the snakes, and or whatever the case may be. I mean, a couple individuals, one guy, if you're watching this, bro, reach out to me. You bought the Pastel Enchi Leopard Het Clown male. You came to the table, what's going on, Baker? I really want to buy an animal from you. You bought the animal, you rolled out on me, bro. Like, no conversation. Like, who the fuck are you? Okay? So definitely hit me up. You know you are. Again, the Pastel Enchi Leopard Het Clown male. Really beautiful, crazy looking pattern. It actually came back to actually exact genetics. Hit me up, dude. yeah, so that was one of my big favorite parts too, is meeting people that I make the content, people watch the content, it's like, I love your YouTube, whatever the case may be. That meant the world to me. So not only we get to move animals, we got to meet people in this community. And I think that is the biggest part about this, guys, right? I've never shied away from the fact you can make a couple extra bucks breeding ball pythons or geckos or retics or whatever the case may be. But more importantly, we are part of a little community, a little industry, a little niche, you know what I mean? Where we are definitely looked upon as kind of weirdos, but we all understand each other. And to meet people in person, interact, I think is my favorite part about this, especially the shows. I look forward to doing more shows. I will be doing more shows. In fact, Tinley, we're going to do a little Patreon trip I'm trying to put together now for Tinley. I think it's October 7th and 8th. We will be heading out there to Tinley. Absolutely, I will be there. We look forward to that. I'll be vending more shows. Definitely the Gettysburg, Hamburg, Oaks. I'm going to try to get White Plains. I'm going to try to get my name on that list. But our next show will be the Nassau show in June. I believe it's June 24th. Don't quote me. We'll have a whole video interview with Tony, who's putting that show on. But guys, if you talk to me at the show, if you bought an animal for the show, you follow this channel, I greatly appreciate it, guys. Unbelievable experience. 5 stars across the board. So if you breed online, or you breed in general, you sell online, you're thinking about doing the shows, by all means, guys, I highly, highly recommend it. Huge, great first experience. I love it. In fact, I normally wholesale a lot of like the Coral Glow combos I have behind me. I'm not going to wholesale at all anymore. I'm going to bring them to shows. I'm going to do shows because you know what? It's one of those things too where it's like I can wholesale a banana Coral Glow, let's say, for $100, and they put it, at a pet store for $350, or some kid I can run across at a show. It's like, oh, their budget's $100. Like, fuck, you know what I mean? Like, I would rather interact with people and see these snakes go into these kids, or see these snakes going to these people, getting into the hobby, was by far the best part of. Have I been looking at the wrong spot the whole time? Oh, thank God. I thought like the camera was over there and I was looking here. But anyway, guys, listen, I really appreciate it. Hopefully Saturday's video will be us pulling our first clutch of the 2023 season, which hopefully should be our first stranger clutch, right? He owes us fucking big time. I mean, huge. We're going to talk about that too, actually. How an investment ball python, how worst case scenario can happen. It's happened to me, and how much it actually cost me. Not only $20,000 my buddy laid out to invest in the company, but also the fact that I didn't breed 4 or 5 females that I should have bred last year. Hopefully we reap the rewards this year from that, but we shall see, guys. Yeah, fucking love doing shows. Definitely gonna do more shows. Any advice or any experienced people want to give me advice on how to set up displays, so forth and so on, guys, I really appreciate it. Right now I'm looking at ARS caging to do my acrylic setups. Comes with carrying case and everything, guys. But other than that, love it. By the way, I'm really thinking about getting the leechies too. I love my little leechy fuck over there, so we'll see about that. Later videos, guys, but hopefully I see you Saturday with a nice clutch. First clutch of 2023. Should be getting a Wilbeck's incubator in shortly. Do a full review of those new incubators. A lot of you guys have been asking me about that. I'll tell you why I switched over from Sea Serpent. That's really it though, guys. I can't see shit because of this light. I'm pretty fired up. What time is it? It is 21:42. That's it for me, guys. Listen, I appreciate you guys watching. Everybody at the show, you picked up an animal from us. You stopped by to say hello. I love you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You made it a amazing, amazing experience. Really, really happy about that. With that being said, guys, you want t-shirts, definitely hit me up. But as always, guys, listen, I appreciate you guys watching. If you stuck through to the end of my little rant, I appreciate it. Love this community. Love you guys. Be safe. Watch your 6.